All right. What's up, YouTube? Give a little update on the car. It runs great ish. Okay, it runs good. Got it running good. Ended up switching out the Eldebrock carburetor for a Holly 750. That ended up being too much carburetor. I was out on a test drive and it was loading up on me, so I stood on it. The valves have been a little chattery ever since I got it. They needed adjusted. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And when I stood on it, then a lifter started ticking. After that, pulled the 750 off, put a Holly 600 on it. That made a huge difference. Car runs great. I drove it into Albuquerque and back, which is about an hour drive, and car did great. Taken it out a few times since. I changed the oil to a lighter weight oil, and then I put this stuff in it. Try to get the tick away, and it's just louder with the lighter weight oil, which I kind of expected, but thought it was worth a shot before I go pulling it all back apart again. So I'm thinking that that's the next step. Pull the intake back off, undo everything I just did, and put a new set of lifters in it. Ever do another one? Ever change the intake on another one? I'm just going to do lifters right off the bat. But it is what it is. Learning experience. I think I probably damaged the lifter by, beating on it with the loose valves, like the rockers, with that stuff being loose. So I probably damaged one. I don't know. It happened after I stood on it. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I've got about 3-4 weeks left here and then we're going to take off out of New Mexico and head for Oregon. So I'll be doing more with it up there. I'm trying to get it to a point where I can get some driving video, but the car's kind of fighting me a little bit. But we'll get that done, and then go from there. Open to suggestions if anybody wants to. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see done with the car, I guess. I'm kind of at a toss-up. I don't know if I want to keep messing with this engine. It's a wore out, old small block 350 is a mild cam. I don't know if I want to keep messing with it or if I just want to do a video sending it to the moon. Scatter this sumbitch and put something better in it. Yeah, looking at other options. Got a 396 big block in Ohio that I could put in. I was kind of wanting to build this as just a cruiser and to leave it alone, but I don't know. I guess I'll do lifters maybe first, and then if I still have problems with it, then I'll go blow it up on the salt flats. Just trying to get the thing together take it to some cars and coffees, and I mean technically I could drive it the way it is to some cars and coffee, but it's knocking, ticking, whatever you want to call it. It's a little embarrassing, so I don't want to roll up to a meet ticking like hell. It doesn't really tick when it's cold. When you first start it up, the engine's cold, it doesn't tick. But once it warms up, it ticks like some bitch. Probably gonna have new lifters and stuff ordered before this video even drops, so I guess I'll at least do that. But yeah, stay tuned. See what we do. Suggestions, what you want to see me do with it. Because after it's running smooth, I'm gonna do some cruising on this shitty ass back road somewhere in New Mexico. Got water crossing. I don't know how deep it is. holes galore. Goodness gracious. I almost forgot. I've got one more thing to add on something that happened to the car, and that is some of you that have watched one of my previous videos. I think where I initially pulled the intake off, I had left the key on, and the distributor wire touched, grounded out, and smoked a little bit at that resistor block that somebody had mounted on the firewall. Well, I did away with that block because I did that again, and this time the wire didn't make it. It burned the coating off of the entire length of the wire all the way back to the ignition switch, along with a little bit more wiring. So the whole car, I wasn't recording, but the whole inside of the car was full of smoke. Opened up the door, smoke rolled out. And so I simplified it. The guy had that resistor there as basically a junction block and it was all mainly for the volt gauge. So we had the two wires coming from the volt gauge going to the resistor block, all on the top. Well, he had it grounded out on the firewall right behind it, and then the power wire on the block, and then two wires coming off of the ignition. So one, like an old school thing that I saw, a lot of people would jump there's an ignition 1 and ignition 2 wire on the ignition switch, and I've seen or read that gets jumped commonly. And so he did that. He ran two full length wires to the resistor block, and then another wire to to the distributor. So there was a whole lot of nonsense going on there for no good reason. I don't have the volt gauge hooked up yet right now, but I simplified it. I have one wire coming out of there now. I just jumped it at the ignition switch and connected to that, and I just ran it to the distributor. So it looks a lot better. And but yeah, we get a bit of a close up. Melted all the coating off the wire. But almost left that part out. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. It's a short one, but just wanted to give a quick update. That way you guys know where the cars stand. For those of you following along, that think the car is cool and like it, definitely appreciate it. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. See what we do with the thing. Who knows? So, like I said, we might go scatter this engine on the salt flats and then put a big block in it. We'll see. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.